A mother who drowned and burned her 4-year-old daughter has today been found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity. Carlene Ann Harris killed her daughter Amelia Brooke Harris in a sacrifice at their home in South Wales in June this year. The 38-year-old had denied murder and manslaughter, telling doctors she was a fallen angel chosen by God and needed to prove her faith by offering her little girl. Harris had suffered from schizophrenia following a urinary tract infection in 2014, the court heard. A psychiatrist said she appeared to have experienced paranoid and religious delusions and believed she had to kill Amelia to save the world and was being tested by God, who would then return her daughter to her. The mother of 3 was today sentenced at Newport Crown Court to a hospital order without a limit of time. Prosecutor Michael Jones QC said it was an exceptional case, and the jury was asked to put their emotions aside as they heard the harrowing and tragic evidence. One juror was excused 10 minutes into the trial because she could not bear to hear the gruesome details of how little Amelia died. The jury today returned a special verdict after hearing that psychiatrists appearing for both the prosecution and defense agreed Harris was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. Justice Simon Pickens said, "A richly promising girl met her death at the hands of her mother, and in the most horrific manner. I am satisfied that you are suffering from a mental health disorder, namely schizophrenia. The intention is that, as soon as possible, you will be transferred to an appropriate clinic close to home. The most suitable method is me making an order under S-37 of the 1983 Act, and that is it necessary to protect the public from serious harm." Amelia's teenage brother found her body, wrapped in a sheet, on a table in their garden in Treelaw, Rhondda, South Wales, on June 8 this year. Neighbors heard screaming and went into the street to see what was wrong before finding Harris's older children, who were visibly distressed. The court heard that neighbor Megan Griffiths saw Harris standing in the front garden, looking dazed, and the defendant told her, "God will be with her. The angels have taken her." The neighbor dialed 999 and went into the back garden of Harris's house, where she saw Amelia's charred remains lying on a coffee table covered with a sheet. Share this article. Share. When the police arrived at the scene, Harris told them, "The angels told me to do it. Just arrest me. It's okay." One of Harris's 2 sons said his mother had not been well for some 6 weeks before the incident, the court heard. Home Office pathologist Dr. Richard Jones concluded Amelia had died from drowning and was already dead when she was set on fire. Harris had been taking small amounts of amphetamines leading up to the incident, but experts agreed she had not been suffering from drug-induced psychosis. Dr. Arden Thomason, a psychiatrist, diagnosed Harris with schizophrenia and said at the time she was suffering from abnormality of mental function which substantially impaired her ability to form a rational judgment. Another psychiatrist, Dr. Philip Joseph, agreed Harris had suffered from schizophrenia following a urinary tract infection in 2014. Jurors have been told there was no dispute that Harris killed her daughter or about events leading up to the incident, but they were tasked with deciding whether she was not guilty of murder by reason of insanity or guilty to manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility. Trial judge, Mr. Justice Picken, told the panel of 6 men and 6 women they had the option of returning a special verdict in the circumstances of this case. Passing sentence, Mr. Justice Pickens said he was imposing a hospital order and restriction order without limit of time under the 1983 Mental Health Act. "This is a deeply sad case in circumstances where you have killed your 4-year-old daughter Amelia at your house which you shared with her," the judge said. "These facts speak for themselves. A young girl rich in promise met her death at the hands of her own mother in the most horrific manner. I am satisfied that you were suffering from a mental disorder, namely schizophrenia, which means it is suitable for you to remain at a hospital for medical treatment, and that is consistent with the jury's verdict." Speaking outside court, Harris's mother Jackie Harris, who was visibly upset, said, "It's bittersweet. I am devastated and beyond words. I lost Amelia and I lost Carly, and the two boys lost their mother and sister and each other. I have lost my life. I think it is the right verdict, and the judge was decent and kind. He has done the right thing. I've gone beyond tears. She is my daughter, and I am devastated, and I have lost my daughter. All because one doctor wouldn't take 10 minutes to talk to her." Mrs. Harris added, "She is not a monster. She is the salt of the earth,